And now, your first Alert 5 weather.
The ground is wet in Cripple Creek, so a nice rain shower moving through Teller County right now. It did have some lightning, but that lightning activity has definitely eased up in the past 10 minutes or so. So we mostly just had some mountain showers today. There's one shower that's kind of spilled over into Monument and the county line basically, but most of the showers are up into our higher elevations, especially along the upper Arkansas River this afternoon. And those clouds are just spreading into the plains, but for the most part, it's been a dry day for I-25 and the plains of Colorado. That's definitely a change from the weather that we had last week and the end of May, where it was widespread thunderstorms, cooler temperatures. Today has been mostly hot and sunny. And part of the reason why we have seen a decrease in our thunderstorm activity is because our dew points are a bit lower. Right now, the dew points in the 30s in Colorado Springs, and dew points measure how much moisture is in the atmosphere. And I do expect those dew points to increase tonight and stay elevated, more like 40 to 50 degrees in the coming days. So what that means is we'll see a better chance of thunderstorms area-wide. So let's go through that forecast. Tonight, a few showers still lingering up into the higher elevations. We're going to start the day tomorrow pretty toasty already by the late morning. We're in the 70s and 80s, close to 11 a.m. And then shortly, we're going to return to the 90s in the plains by the early afternoon. Once again, though, storms will spark up in the mountains. And thanks to those elevated dew points, we'll have a better chance of storms making their way towards I-25 by the late afternoon. A few storms make it to the plains by the evening. And the storms tomorrow could be strong. We could have some hail, some gusty wind. But the severe weather threat is overall pretty low. We might have maybe one or two storms that get strong enough for a warning. On Thursday, we start the day with sunshine, and once again in the afternoon, storms spark up in the mountains. They'll move towards I-25 by mid-afternoon. By the late afternoon and evening, some of those storms will make it to the plains. So we'll have an uptick in our storm chances Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, but our overall large-scale weather pattern right now is heat. Check out the country right now. Pretty much everybody is in the 70s to 90s. And that's because we're all kind of in this same weather pattern with a general ridge of high pressure that's keeping us above average looking ahead in time. And especially over Father's Day weekend, that ridge of heat will increase over the Four Corners states, and that adds on to our temperatures each and every day. So tonight we'll drop to the 40s and 50s, highs on Wednesday, 70s, 80s, 90s. Thursday, mostly 80s and 90s. And you'll notice as we progress through the weekend, we're going to kind of lose those extra dew points. We're going to dry out a bit, but the weather pattern remains, and the weather pattern means heat. So Sunday could be potentially our first 90-degree day of the year in Colorado Springs. We'll spend the bulk of the afternoon in the upper 80s. So as you plan for the weekend, make sure you have sunscreen and lots of water as this late spring heat settles in. In Pueblo, low 90s for the next few days and a chance of an afternoon thunderstorm. This weekend, we're getting toasty mid to upper 90s, 97 by Father's Day. In Canyon City, upper 80s for the next 3 days and a chance of thunderstorms. Then dry and hot this weekend in the 90s. Finally, Woodland Park staying in the 70s for the next 3 days with an afternoon thunderstorm chance. And then we're likely to dry out this weekend with 80s for highs.